let's take a look at our top selections for
Hey everybody, Mike Beer here. We have two graded stakes races at Aqueduct on Saturday. Let's start with race number 3. It's the Discovery for 3-year-old colts. They're going 9 furlongs on the main track. Here's the field of 5. Pretty good field of 5 though. There's not that many horses entered, but they got 5 good ones to be sure. One long shot in there, the number 4 Ralston, who does appear to be in a little bit tough. Morning line favorite, number 1 Shared Sense, a Godolphin homebred, trained by Brad Cox. He's won a couple of grade 3 races at this distance already this year. He's certainly a horse who makes a lot of sense, exiting a pretty nice win for him at Remington Park in the Oklahoma Derby at the end of September. 94 Beyer speed figure for that victory is a career best for him. Second choice on the morning line. Bill Mott's lightly raced 3-year-old Forza Dioro, number 3. He's 2-1 on the line. He's second off the layoff here. It came back off of a very long layoff for Mott in early October at Belmont Park with an excellent allowance score, with a new Beyer top for him as well, 96. So that kind of a race, if he can repeat it against tougher horses this time, is certainly going to give him a chance in this race. The number 2 Monday Morning Quarterback, shipping in off of a nice win over this distance. He beat some good older horses last time at Laurel. 95 Beyer speed figure for him. Even attachment rate, number 5. I mean, he hasn't reached the heights of some of these other horses on the Beyer scale, at least in his victories. But he did earn a 95 in the Ellis Park Derby 3 starts back before he took his shot in Kentucky. So he's another horse who matches up very well with this field. It's only a field of 5, a very short field, but it's a good one. A lot of different horses can win here. Let's take a quick look at the Timeform US Pace Projector. They do have the number 4 Ralston out there on the early lead. Timeform US and their Pace Projector does not give an advantage to either speed horses or closers in this race. They expect it to be fairly run. I do believe that Ralston is probably going to try and make the lead here. He did win his most recent start. They stretched him out to a 2-turn mile at Gulfstream West. He wired a field there. 83 Beyer speed figure he earned for that win is a career best for him. He obviously has to improve. He has landed in a pretty tough spot here, but they will try to wire this field. I believe that they will anyway. It seems like his only chance to win here is if he can stretch out to 9 furlongs and get loose on the lead. Monday Morning Quarterback is supposed to be up close. I'm not going to argue with that as far as Timeform US sees it as well. Monday Morning Quarterback is a very interesting horse in here. He started out his career pretty good. He won 2 of his first 3 starts. They shipped him here to Aqueduct to run in the Withers back in at the beginning of February. That was over this distance as well. His first time stretching out, first time around 2 turns. He didn't run poorly in the Withers. I got to say, he did get tired in the stretch of that race and wound up settling for 4th, but he was bumped at the break, away last in the field that day. His rider just sort of let him settle into a stride, and he got himself into contention in that race. Down through the stretch, he was right there in the mix with a real shot at it. On his wrong lead, got tired at the end, and then he missed, obviously, a lot of time after that. He came back off the layoff with an excellent performance in the Tessio at Laurel, second best that day to Happy Saver, Todd Pletcher's Happy Saver, who would exit that race and go on to win the Jockey Cup Gold Cup over older horses. They took a shot on turf in between, and then they came back last time with this win here in the Maryland Millions Classic. Let's take a look at it right now. This is October 24th at Laurel. It is 9 furlongs. He didn't break that sharply from the gate, but he had good speed. He got right up there on the pace, set a really nice trip, took this thing over on the far turn. And you can see through the stretch, he just stayed on very gamely, kept clear all the way, not letting the closers into the race. The horse running second to him there was an in-form older horse, Harper's First Ride. Harper's First Ride had won his previous start in the Grade 3 Pimlico Special with a triple-digit Beyer speed figure. So he beat a quality horse last time, a quality older horse as well. He earned a new career top Beyer speed figure for that. This horse is in excellent form right now. He's a major player in the race. I wanted to touch on Forza Dioro a little bit, just because this is a horse who showed real potential as a 2-year-old last year. Ran really well in his career debut at Belmont Park. They debuted him going long, a 1-turn mile. He totally blew the start that day, hesitated, must have cost him a good 5 lengths, and he made a good run to get back involved there. He wound up weakening a little bit and settling for second, but he ran really well that day, and he came back and he won his very next start. Much more impressively than I think either the Beyer speed figure or the margin of victory would lead you to believe. He won that race very easily. It was only a 71 Beyer, but he looked good winning that day. You could tell he had talent. As a younger horse, they tried the Remsen in his final start as a 2-year-old. He did not run well that day. He missed a lot of time after that race. He didn't come back until early October this year for his 3-year-old debut. Let's take a look at that right now because he runs well once again in this race. He was last away from the gate. That's a real problem for him. He needs to, start to find a way to get out of the gate a little bit better, but he missed I don't want to say missed it. He just didn't break that sharply from the gate. He moved forward under a really good hold, though, up the backstretch under Junior Alvarado. Junior, moved him to the outside in the stretch, and he just closed this field down on his wrong lead the entire way. Never changed. I'm not going to worry about that right now. He's still a young horse. He's still learning. He took a big step forward last time, though, and a repeat of that effort seems like it's going to make him tough in here. I really wouldn't worry about the added distance of the 2 turns with him either, even though his only other start at 9 furlongs around 2 turns is not a good one. I thought attachment rate was very interesting. Now that I see the morning line and David made him 4-1, that makes him even more interesting if he's going to wind up being the 4th choice of 5 in here. I just feel like this horse has a lot of talent. Earlier this year, I wasn't so sure that he wanted to stretch out. I didn't really feel like longer distances were necessarily going to be better for him. But I'm starting to come around to this horse now in longer races. His Ellis Park Derby 3-back that we touched on earlier, he ran well that day. Art Collector obviously was, way the horse to beat in there, and he got right to the front in that race from his inside post. Attachment rate had an outside post that day, and he got caught in a wide trip the entire way around the track. I thought he ran well. He was only 2nd best that day, but I did think he ran well when you take the trip into account, and just the fact that I did feel like he had something to prove over 9 furlongs. So that effort was very encouraging. I don't care about the Derby. He earned his shot in the starting gate there, so they put him in there. He didn't run that well, but I don't care about that race. He came back last time, found a nice soft spot in an allowance race over a sloppy track at Churchill. He secured the rail right from the start, kept right up there with the pace, and he was much better than those horses. A very easy win. Attachment rate has some real talent, and I'm starting to feel like the 9 furlongs may not be that much of an issue for him. I think he's a real player in this race. But I wound up putting him 2nd, and we can put the picks up there right now because my top pick in the race is going to be the 1 Shared Sense. He's the morning line favorite. I don't know how short a price I would want to take on him, actually. But this horse, the distance is obviously no problem. 2 of his last 3 starts have been wins in Grade 3 races at 9 furlongs. They aren't the strongest fields in the world, the Indiana Derby and the Oklahoma Derby, but he won both of those races pretty easily. He's got a tactical running style. The pace projector has him last, and I guess, that's probably right. It's a short field, though. I'm not expecting him to be, outrun early in this race. I felt like he was handy enough. In between those 2 Grade 3 wins, he was behind attachment rate in the Ellis Park Derby, but this horse, to me, was very badly compromised by having the outside post that day. Florent Giroux just decided, since they were drawn so far aside, just to take him right back from the start. He took him back to last. This horse never really had a fair chance to win that race. And all in all, even though he was 5th, beaten more than 10 lengths, I thought he actually ran pretty well. That was not a poor effort considering the trip that he got. So I'm going with Shared Sense. He's not much price on the morning line. We'll see how they wind up betting it. I went 1-5, 2-3 in the Grade 3 Discovery. It comes early on the Saturday Aqueduct card. It's race number 3. The approximate post time is 12:48 Eastern Time. Good luck.